They holla say they want the power. Chai. Them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you ladder. Oh, yo yo, my ego don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make we shout. Oh yo yo. Man of the masses. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good diary political. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh, yeah, yeah. This one not day off in mind. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh, yeah, yeah. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Mayegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Mayegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say Mayegun don't come. So my people make you laugh. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo, my people make you shout. Oh yo yo, Mayegun don't come. Oh yo yo. Man of the masses. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good diary political. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh, yeah, yeah. This man not the off in mind. Oh, yeah, yeah. My good and come. Oh.
Hello there. So good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And of course, good evening to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Mayegun. La. And happy Thanksgiving to all of you, my viewers, presently from America. Happy Thanksgiving. It is, yeah? Happy holiday. So tonight we are going to talk about politics. What is happening out there? And then how much of this do you know in detail? And where are you in all of this? So tonight, as you are joining us, please share the broadcast, okay? Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Mayegun today, because the man that bought Tifnumbu's presidential form is now leading the charge against him because of the Muslim tickets. But the Muslims have also responded. They said, Meluni, how much you be on a body? Where you now did carry say you be Christian. Oh, yeah, will go to the field. The showdown, something we predicted a while back. Exactly. The income, I mean, the level of I don't careism of Tifnumbu and APC choosing Muslim tickets just for the daring's sake. So that is going to be our rider tonight. Others are part of it, including the rebuttal from the same camp that rejected Tifnumbu. Share the broadcast. And yes, we like you. Glory you too. And yes, we like you. Oh, Baba, and yes, we like you. DJ, Daddy, yeah. And yes, we like you. And my dear Biafran brothers and sisters, I have been trying to find what the meaning of this title. So I'm going to say it. I hope I say it right. And you're going to tell me the meaning in the comment section. And I will tell you why. So what is the meaning of DK Diora? DK Diora Uma 1. What does that mean? Please tell me in the comments. That's it. And then you are welcome to this segment, this broadcast tonight, to the Temple of Truth. The Babachir, Mayegun General, is here, sitting on the throne of the temple. Now you can sit back, relax, and possibly contribute as much as you would love. At some point, I'm going to open the line where we can actually have a chat one-on-one. However, I'm going to open the chat with this, Babachir Lawal, ladies and gentlemen.
To me, because we're an APC, what party should be. If APC of its own volition decides to produce a bad candidate, a bad combination, if APC as a political party decides to discriminate against my person and my religion, I have no business saying that I cannot criticize. It's my duty to criticize within the party. So it's my duty within as an APC member to see that APC does the right thing. If APC decides not to do the right thing, it's my duty to continue to tell them that they are doing the wrong thing and they should mend their ways. But APC, it appears, is capable of mending its anti-Christian stance. That's it. It has been a story since the formation of APC. This argument has been going on. We Christians have been crying that they are not including us in the party structure. Because of it, we have been unable to convince our followers to be diehard members of APC. Anywhere we go, they cry. APC is excluding Christians. APC is excluding Christians. When we tell them, they don't hear. So what apology do I have to remain and continue to justify evil?
Mr. Babachir,
who just sideline here.
Mr. Babachir, you've endorsed Obi Dati, but one person that...
That's the Babachir Lawal. Let me give you the background of Babachir Lawal, okay? You see that man, was the number one appointment, or put it this way, it was one of the 3 first appointments made by Bokuwari. In fact, he was your former secretary to the government of Nigeria, SGF, for 7 straight months before Bokuwari finally sluggishly appointed the Akudayas that became his ministers. Babachir Lawal, your former president, what did they call him again? Abba Kyari. You remember Abba Kyari? That was the second appointment. Now you see this Babachir Lawal, they just gave him, or he gave himself, the key, the first master key to unlock the wealth that many of them have dreamt about. How? As the secretary to the government of Nigeria, his office was given the task of rebuilding the northeast of Nigeria, destroyed by Boko Haram. Over 400 billion naira was put under him to build, to rebuild, to this and to resettle, and the rest of that. Within 2-3 months, this man has already stolen over 4 billion naira in bogus, dubious contracts, including using over 400 million naira to cut the grass around the IDP camp. IDP means internally displaced people, but that is a fancy word for refugee camp. There are Nigerians who have become refugees. These guys campaign, they use them to campaign. In fact, these refugees, victims of Boko Haram terrorism, they were able to deliver millions of votes to bring this APC Egbekegbe in. Now, under that Babachir Lawal, 400 million naira to cut the grass around the empty school that these people were housed. No electricity, no no bed, no nothing. Many of them have ended up begging on the streets. Now, when the APC, Egbekegbe change they voted for came in, they started robbing them from the word go. And that's the man who kickstarted it. His own company, company of his own children, were being awarded tens of billions of naira contracts that they didn't have any plan of carrying out. And Saraki exposed him, if you remember. And it was Pastor Ruga that sacked him because Boko Haram was like a vegetable here in London. Wahala Bakiyari, your de facto president, was also here with him. So Pastor Ruga sacked him. But somehow, they couldn't prosecute him. This day, I believe he's still standing trial for that fraud, but he's never going to go to jail. He's a leader in APC. Egbekegbe. And mind you, he was the guy who actually led the team and paid APC Egbekegbe 100 million naira and procured Tifnumbu's presidential form. Anyway, that relationship didn't last long because today it was the first to raise alarm that if all of you have an idea, if you have a single clue of what they have in stock for you, in fact, of why Shetima is with Tifnumbu on this their APC, Egbekegbe Muslim tickets, even you Muslims, you will be worried, you'll be scared, whatever that means. Remember, it was once your secretary to the government of Nigeria, just like any of the rogues you have right now. And then he turned around, they said they're endorsing Obi. Listen.
Tendency that can create a level playing field for every citizen of Nigeria, irrespective of tribe, irrespective of religion, irrespective of culture. So with this in mind, we started evaluating the various candidates, spoke to our people and the tendencies within the Northern Christian community and indeed other non-Christian communities. After all said and done, majority of us, I must say majority of us felt that the best platform that presents all the things we desire in a country that Nigeria is the one platform being provided by Peter Obi and Deti. One, first of all, there is this tendency that for equity's sake, the presidency should move to the south. And if in the south, an extension of the equity requirement mandates that it should go to the southeast, which since the new democracy came on board, they've never had the chance to produce a presidential candidate. And this is only fair, this is only just. The north has had its share, the southwest have had its share, and so we felt that the Southeast should now produce the next presidential candidate. And of course, their ticket is quite balanced in the sense that for those who think that the Northwest has a very large majority of bloc voters, it's only fair that they produce the vice president in this dispensation. So all said and done, we looked at a system that can bring harmony in our country, peaceful coexistence, security and peace. Again, we looked at the tendency of the ruling party and, of course, the PDP also. It appears that the same oligarchs have been running the country since independence. In my write-up, I did say that if you look at the APC, it looks like the children and grandchildren of those who used to run UPN and are the ones running.
You know, that's so easy to say whenever you lose out of the either PDP or APC right now as an internally displaced politician who has contributed to the rot and destruction that we are talking about today in Nigeria. you can easily kind of hibernate. You can hibernate with Peter Obi. Right now, everybody's on board because it's the rain, is the one reigning right now everywhere you go and all that, online and offline. Whether that is going to transform to election or something, that's a different ball game. But when you look at people like Babachir, wow, it was initially, from what I heard, though, including Dogara and the rest of them, they were initially talking to Atifku. Maybe Atifku didn't give them whatever they were asking. Some said Babachir Lawal positioned himself to be Tifnumbu's running mate. That's why he invested so much time, so much energy, so much all of that in it. And at the same time, an opportunity to redeem himself from this Mr. Grasscutter and all of that stuff. They are all criminals anyway. So now they expect them to do the right thing. How do you expect criminals to do the right thing? So who is the mumu? Who be mumu? The people with the which presentation and everything reeks of mumuism, or you that is feeding and hitting their mumuism, and then you are actually following their mumuism. Who is the mumu? Now not be the mumu. So they try to redeem. When they can't do that, right, they find a place and begin to speak on behalf of the people, on behalf of my people, on behalf of my people. Do you get that now? They have no people. And you know that religion, tribe, and the rest of those are what these criminals always loved, the card they love to play. These are the cards that are always kind of, in a way, it go shall touch your own emotional side. For those of you who actually, act more on emotion than, than logic. So they know what they can say to you that will make you feel like, okay, I forgive you. See, I forgive you. Is that what you think now? Yes, that's what I think now. I care about you. See, these people don't like you. I was one of them, and you begin to believe them. That's some level of BS that somehow needed to be studied. But as expected, yeah, the Islamic North have responded. Dogara, which is part of the Northern Christian, blah, 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 many of them who have been so quiet, despite all these killings going on up north. When I say quiet, when they speak, they have always been very, very careful by exonerating Buhari and looking for who to blame, even whenever they want to talk about these atrocities. Have you not noticed? Now they will begin to talk, but even when they talk, they will never, ever finger Buhari in it. And that is where you will know that it is not about religion to these rogues. They may be pretending to be Christians to you, but they are criminals. They may be pretending to be Muslims to you, but they are what? They are criminals. All those things that make you feel like Allah said, God said, oh, now bullshit. These criminals and those who are telling you that they hear from God on their behalf, they are a bunch of, it's like a chain of criminals. And all of you believe in them. You be mumu. You be mumu. They call other people mumu. You didn't say you they wise. Any small thing they tell you religion. Any small thing they tell you religion. Why? Because you be mumu. You be mumu. You they call other people mumu. Where's that guy?
The Nigeria president now photo. Everybody go snap photo with that. Say our president is snap photo with the Bishop of Archbishop of Canterbury. Hey, snap photo with the Rogers. Hey, snap photo with this one. Now president now photo on a vote. Your president is now a picture. Photo. Not be juju be that. Not be when our fathers die for Jordan with a car for them, keep them for house, a poor libation. Illustre na prayer and say, Moko Buhari boy illustre Buhari prete. Ororu sada, do no ruler. Shitombo arebofu.
Anyway, the Christians themselves have already been so sort of traumatized or victimized, mostly under this Boko Haram's Nigeria, and we know why. We know what the terrorists want, and we know who are the victims of this terrorism and why as well. Wherever that is, they have endorsed Obi, and the Muslims have said that, how many do you think una be? So it's going to be like that, because from tomorrow, you're going to see more and more reactions. But funny enough, the Babachir Lawals and his co-travelers, because of his own decision there, they have now parted with to say, no, we are not with him, expectedly. But it's all the religious and tribal card that eventually will lead you to one thing. Nobody wins. You don't win the system that way. Yeah. They call it divide and rule. Some of you actually don't have the full idea of the concept of that divide and rule. And many of them, they come in different parts and phases as well. This is one of them. All will end up in one thing. You will lose against Nigeria. Don't try to save Nigeria. Don't try. Because none of those who are telling you they want to actually mean it. Because they have no idea. They have no clue of what they are talking about. But let's go to Kwara. So I'm happy that somebody gave me the meaning of the one. Okay, I'll go check it again. I forgot. So they said the warrior loved by his people. Now that's the title given to Tifnumbu in Ebonyi. Let me go look at it again. What is it called again? Just a moment. I kind of type it down. So yeah, said Dike Diora Ma, which is the warrior loved by his people, and that is what will take us to Ebonyi, where they gave him that title. Last night, when Tifnumbu landed in Ebonyi, this clip came on.
For Ebonyi, we have somebody who is getting ready to take over.
What was then governor?
We are with you.
How far?
We will cooperate with you. What he is doing is historical best, given the circumstances of our time. And a leader who has built other leaders is an accomplished leader.
That's
We thank him. And we are going to continue to enjoy him. May the Lord Almighty bless all of you.
Amen. I mean, that was last night. They even give him a title, right? And that title, which I called earlier, Dike Diorama. Dike Diorama. Now, this is him in his regalia. This time around, I haven't seen any Lagos Abobaku, right? Abuse the Igbos, gaslight them, call them IPOB because they wanted to make them, you know what I'm talking about. I haven't seen them done that. Meanwhile, look at this.
So we are happy to call you in the same manner. If you said I have not Islamized my house, how can I Islamize Nigeria? I won't forget that. I've quoted it 5 times. So for the same interfaith, sir, and for what you believe, historically, 2 very touching, historical statements, brought together. And we are happy to have you as a third factor to commission this dualized route and the ancillary routes, connected to this Bishop Nnachi Okoro, route. Your Excellency, you are invited.
Thank you, Mr. Governor. Tonight appeared as APC night. I thought so the dinner was not free. I enjoyed the pounded yam. But before I go to sleep, you are walking me to digestion.
So don't worry if I request for another round. So what you explained?
You get that? Some said he was already sleepy because he was tired. Because during the day, yeah, let me show you what happened that we have here, okay? The first one, this guy who happened to be one of the Boko Haram spokesperson, who later became their enemy, that it probably won't be like enemy, so to say. You know him, Ndume, eh? He met with Kolu. From there, they down took him into a place you can call the dinner you just mentioned earlier. This part. So lasso. Anyway, let's just sort of part two. Our left here, it's an issue. But anyway, here is another one. Very beautiful. Yeah, colorful. Yeah, we heard that Humai actually did so much, infrastructural masterpieces there, I believe, anyway. But that's not just all what happened. We just, okay, Mayegun, okay, what's all this? What happened there? You probably want to know what happened there. Exactly, Abby. Nothing much other than Kolu dropped another banger. As usual, I mean, he will never run out of them. First, they put him in a truck, right, to go and meet the people of Ebonyi to tell them his program, something like this. Then he did speak. He was telling them about his program, his all those stuffs, right? But the moment is off the script, where he has to say something himself, he decided to speak about electricity generation, distribution, and then down payment for roasted corn. I've been trying to figure that out all night. And I mean all day, by the way. So I hope you'll be able to tell me what this simply means. Tifnumbu, speaking to the people of Ebonyi.
They spend more than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Eh? Did you understand that? Do you? Like electricity transmission power line is a super highway. They cannot even make a down payment for roasted corn. No, I don't get that. This is where by tomorrow, you will begin to see the what do they call it? Batty lecturer. The Batty lecturers are the new ones, the new recruits on social media, who are always the annual for interpreters for whatever Tifnubu say that you don't understand. Let's take that again. Maybe I am just so dumb. I don't understand anything, okay? Maybe you can help me with this sentence, right?
More than $60 billion. They forget that transmission line is a super highway for generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn for that electricity.
Now, normally you would be asking me, Mayegun, you should verify if this is not a voiceover. I'm like, how could you do a voice over a live broadcast? There are people caught out just few seconds after he dropped it, a banger. Some people even recorded it on their phones like that when he was talking, like, hey, Shemi, did I hear him right? Let's say roasted corn, transmission line, super highway. Okay, it makes sense, right? If you say transmission line, transmission lines, they are like super highway for generated electricity. Do you get that now? That makes sense, right? If you say, okay, where, all this power line, they're like expressway, true. Once they put power on it, it just move it from one place to wherever it's going. Super highway, no share you get. Now on the core and what have you on the line, you can begin to tap from base junction to junction, town to town. But what brought roasted corn, down payment for roasted corn for the transmission? You get that now? This is where the confusion is, and I am not willing to actually confuse myself that bad again. So I'll leave that to you. Like I said, everybody is feeling the brunt. Whether you want to admit or you don't want to admit, it is happening. I mean, they're happening, by the way. But let's stop over in Kwara, where Atiku was having his own field day. Let me see if I still have that. Here, one second. Ilorin, Kwara. And here is another one from there too. That was the arrival before the say Atiku or Nigeria, say Kwara or Nigeria and the rest of that, right? While they were all on stage, these two happened. Thank you. Eshe. But it's like I said, it's just from that part. Today, I have others where we can pick from the streets. Here is one of them talking about these articulutas as well.
Inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un. Abinda mutanen jami'ar APC suka mana a gidan mai, mun zo za mu raka bakin mu za su koma Abuja, suka zo suka samu motocin nan suna shan mai a gidan mai, suka sa adduna suka tafaffasa su, suka doddoki direbobin, suka jijji musu ciwo, suka kwashe kayayyakin su gaba ɗaya dake cikin motar da jabukunan su da laptop din su da kudaden su duka sun kwace sun tafi da su. Wannan zalunci da me yayi kama, Allah ubangiji zai saka musu da alkhairi, Allah ya saka musu. Wannan alamu ne na nasara, insha Allah rabbi nasara za a yi. Dama ba a yin nasara sai an haɗu da jarrabawa iri-iri. Allah sauwaƙe, Allah ubangiji ya kawo sauƙi.
I don't know if it's just me. Every time I see Atiku and his team and all of that, now this guy, they come my mind.
We are fully prepared. As a state, we are fully prepared. Don't do meeting in your house. Come out now. Bring it out. Don't tell me I'm going to do that campaign. Ethiopia. Only one man. That's why the problem was saying, when only he takes everything, that will be problem. But when you give to the different people, there will be. Thank you, my brothers.
Now the guy will come my mind be that, because you see, as some of you are the supporters of the politicians are tearing yourselves here and there, tearing yourselves up, right? On the streets, it is like no joy, as they will say.
This morning now, where I come out, I still see this guy now. He woman where they fry akara for that side. So he don't chop akara 100 naira. So the woman can't go lamp. Say must give him money. You understand? So I didn't know get money, and he say hungry the worry, and I make chop the woman akara. So now me I come look. Now I come carry the money, come give the woman, send the woman live. Okay, now we come here now. They as into the G's. We're talking about politics now. He's saying in the APC. He's saying APC indeed. So and now that APC they rule, you know, fee buy akara for himself. So now I say, may give me my money. No, I say, may just give me my money.
No, that's sorry.
No,
so now
no, give me my money. Now,
no, you pay. Why you pay? You pay. No, keep
why you not get money for paper that I pay chop?
If someone can know, if you don't get money to pay akara.
May give me my own money.
Give me
my money. May go ask the APC, may give me my money. May come pay.
He know the candidate. The aspirant.
You say yes, he say go. He say now that the party go vote.
Why you are sitting like this? You don't get money and no vote is where they do somebody else.
No, man.
No, like be careful.
No, wait. No, listen, let me tell something. No, if anybody won't help, I may help and beg the money. No, I'm begging my money.
No, I will play you.
You move. Hey, see, I don't No, give me my money. No, give me my money. No, you know even go. Nobody wants to go. Man, they wait them.
Okay, don't worry. I can
talk to make him the money.
I'll beg. Here, I will pay the money. I beg. We will help you pay. The man, they have a phone. Now, how much is the cap?
No, man, no, touch the money. Give me. You say you go give me the money back. Okay. If I leave and you go give me the money.
No. The man you give the car.
No.
You don't need the car. You don't need the car. How can they worry you?
You go the car for labor. If you know say I will collect my money or me no dey body.
See, okay?
You go pay him money, just like Larry will say. Our Larry would love to remind us which is true. You remember this guy? That is a Tukor Mamu. That is Sheikh Osama bin Gumi's right-hand man. The man declared wanted by the Nigerian Daura Secret Service, DSS. This man is the negotiator between the terrorist Boko Haram that kidnapped the Kaduna Abuja passengers in March 2022. Is the negotiator. He is the publisher of Herald newspaper from Kaduna also. This guy is accused of in fact, monetizing the kidnapping. You see, when the terrorists, according to them, they said when they attacked the Abuja Kaduna train in March, their intention was to take some people hostage and use them as bargaining chip to release their jailed, leaders that many of us didn't even know about until recently. Now, when the terrorists kidnapped the people the passengers along Kaduna, Abuja, when they kidnapped the passengers, you know what happened? They made their demand known through this guy. And they said, this man told them that the people will not take them serious if they don't add money to it. So the terrorists now said they don't care about the money. What matters most is for leaders to be released. That's what they care about. So what this guy now did was that he became the negotiator between the terrorists and the families of the Abuja Kaduna train, right? He began to, represent me, be the middleman between them. Now, he will be the one to tell the family. The terrorists say you should pay 200 million naira. You should pay 50 million naira. In this process, they said his action contributed to the extended time that the victims spent in the captivity of the Boko Haram because of this guy. Now, that's what they told us. Oh, that is what they told the Interpol. Oh. Then this guy somehow decided to escape from Nigeria. According to DSS, the guy said he was only traveling to Saudi Arabia for Hajj. Now, the whole thing happened so fast. He got arrested, brought to Nigeria, and he was locked up in their Daura Secret Service cell, DSS cell. Then the next thing they said, they are charging him for terrorism, aiding and abetting terrorism. And in the charges, they listed all I just told you now. They found money in his house. They found other things that are so implicating, according to them, show that he has profited from the tragedy of this Abuja Kaduna train passengers. Sure you get. But ladies and gentlemen, they have decided to let him go this afternoon. Daura Secret Service have withdrawn all charges against him. They have decided, this is not like a court judgment. They said we are not doing again. Sure you get. We are not doing again. All charges dropped. Go and read Conflicts for Jihadi. Go and read Conflicts for Jihadi. You will understand that when they say you are in bondage of this terrorist, you probably will be saying, in the name of Jesus, blood of Jesus, as Nigeria exists, you are in the bondage of this terrorist. Trust me. Because as it is, you have terrorists in government in Nigeria. They have the power to decide and say what is crime, what is a crime, and what is not a crime. Who is a criminal and who is not a criminal, right before your own very eyes. They are pardoning terrorists. They are pardoning their sponsor. They are giving free pass to all those who have connections to all manner of terrorism, including economic sabotage. And you are watching them right before your eyes. You don't even know what to do. You don't even know what to say. You don't even know where to go, because we are talking about Nigeria. Now, that guy, they've dropped all of that. There's no case against him anymore. If any media house say anything, the guy can sue you, because the DSS have now said, no, we don't have anything. Do you know all that happened within that time? Between March and September 2022, innocent people came under attack in March, and they were kidnapped in Nigeria. They are not just 1, 2, 3. We are talking about 167 passengers. They killed about 8 or 9 people. Some of you have even forgotten. You have forgotten them. Some of you have forgotten. But I know you will never forget that that doctor, that young doctor that got shot and tweeted and said, "I have been shot. Pray for me." She didn't even say, "Help me." She didn't even say anything, right? She said, I have been shot. I'm on the I'm on the Abuja Kaduna train. I have been shot. Please pray for me. You see, this Olori Bruku APC, Egbekegbe members, they just unleash vile hating on her. Do you know why? Because she was Igbo. Her name is what they needed to see. Once they saw her name, they quickly said, and instead of even like the fear enough to be like, are you serious? Are you okay? Can you know what I mean? They just attacked her from left, right, and center. You will die. Are you dead? Are you dead yet? You should be dead by now. Who will ever get shot and will be tweeting? Hey, look at these people who wanted to spoil Buhari. They wanted to spoil Buhari name. They are enemy of Nigeria. The lady died. She died hours later. She was the best and the most kind of highly known victim, the first set of victims that died. But others, they ended up in that den. And you know what happened after? Over 1 billion, over 1.4 billion naira exchange hands for the release of those who were released. Do you know that? Families, people were selling their properties, they were selling their homes, they were selling their land, they were selling what they could sell. People were becoming wretched because they had to pay ransom to these terrorists. Do you understand? Justice they will never see because it is Nigeria. Trust me. Now, the person who was like their best guy ended up being a culprit. Something that we have also said many times, that if these guys were really serious fighting terrorism to curb this insecurity in Nigeria, it is not hard to tell those who are the beneficiaries of this, who are the sponsor of this. If you uproot the sponsor, all these branches of terrorism would disappear. But where would they get the power from to control you if they lose the power of terrorism over you? Sheikh Osman Gumi knows all the location of the leaders of Fulani terrorists up north. He knows all the location of the Fulani terrorist leaders in the southern Nigeria. This guy traveled down to southern Nigeria, traveled down to Yoruba land, and he went to a place in Oyo State. After meeting with all their terrorists, whatever in the forest, he came publicly and said, Nigeria can never divide. The Fulanis have come here to stay. A sort of a provoking video that nobody questioned. They know the locations of all these terrorists and their leaders and where they are. But Nigerian security will never know them. How dumb and how kind of dubious that is. How dumb it is for so many people to think. Sheikh Gumi and his entourage, including this guy, they know the location of all these terrorists. And whenever they are going there, they have publicly told us that they received enough support. I'm talking about logistics from the same government of Nigeria that provides security, soldiers, DSS, police, and so many, including vehicles and money that Gumi is traveling about with. But the Nigerian government, Nigerian DSS, Nigerian security forces, they have no idea where these terrorists are. Do you get what I mean now? So if you hold guys like that, if you really want to end it, but there's no plan there's no plan that they want to end it. So this guy is a free guy now, and they're going to do a Thanksgiving because it is Nigeria. Anyway, I just thought I should touch that before we call it a night. So I'm going to open the line. Okay, but I'm going to go and make myself another cup of tea. So we have just an hour more just to have a chat before we go to bed. If you are still up for it, you can stay back. And if you're not, I'll see you some other time. Okay, I will be back.
loco, baby loco. Baba we no well, you dey shout baby loco. Like they say. Baba we no well, you dey shout baby loco. Baby loco, you dey shout baby loco.